It's time to once again take a walk through time and space, and for the first time on a Nightmare Fuel episode, we are headed off to the 7th Doctor era. This one was recommended a long while back by Ewan Silburn. Thanks for the suggestion. The Sylvester McCoy era didn't get off to the best start, with season 24 being notoriously recognised as one of the weakest seasons ever, even though I do have a fondness for it, especially Delta and the Bannerman, which is my biggest guilty pleasure Doctor Who story. I do see exactly why the ratings went a bit tits up at this point in time though. The 7th Doctor was mostly presented as a bit of a clown and a joke, but the decision was made for season 25 to start injecting more mystery into the character, giving him a much darker past than we ever could have realised, and this lasted into the final season of Classic Who by bringing on board script editor Andrew Carmel. He helped to spearhead an era of the show known as the Carmel Master Plan, where the 7th Doctor era took a legendary shift into strangeness, seriousness, horror elements, and shadiness. Ghostlight is one of the shining examples of this much darker tone and the enigmatic qualities of not only the Doctor, but of his companion, Ace. In fact, this story is considered to be the first in a trilogy of stories that wrapped up season 26, known by some sectors of the fandom as the Ace Trilogy. I'm sure we'll get to the Curse of Fenric and Survival later down the line, but here's where the importance of Ace and her backstory really start to shine through. And not only are all these character developments done here, but Ghostlight also happens to be Nightmare Fuel City. The plot is... well, it's there. Somewhere, probably. I think the most sense I got out of it was from Matt, Billy, and Jonathan trying to decipher it on the Review of Death. Check that out when you've got the chance to, by the way. Ghostlight is all very complicated, and Mark Platt did end up getting quite a bit of stick from certain critics for this story's obscure, all over the place narrative. Right, so basically, we're in a large house called Gabriel Chase, which is a labyrinth of dark corridors, creepy toys, and stuffed animals. Within it, we have creepy maids, a cell in the wall with some kind of monster lurking inside, a primate butler who looks like Abraham Lincoln, and rather a lot of bizarre characters wandering the halls of the house with all kinds of different purposes. The atmosphere and set design are probably the most gothic the show had been since the mid-Tom Baker era, and it's incredibly spooky. Large dark house, thunder and lightning cracking outside. This one fits right into the haunted house genre, which Doctor Who definitely needs to cover more often. It did it quite well lately in The Haunting of Villa Diodati. A dark character theme emerges between the Doctor and Ace, coming through Ace's discovery that this house is Gabriel Chase. The Doctor admits at the start of the story that he's brought her to the house on purpose, and this deeply upsets Ace due to her being very open about her past not being nice. She has a lot of her own ghosts in her hometown of Perryville that she never wishes to visit again, and Gabriel Chase is pivotal to it all. So not only do we crack open a can of Ace's frightening past, but the Doctor also is displayed as a master manipulator and game player, something which had very rarely been tapped into. He actually lies to Ace and sets her up just so he can learn more about her past, and what the evil she sensed there as a child was. That is nightmare fuel of a much different kind. She tells him about a bad memory from her past and sensing evil forces, and the Doctor actively brings her back to investigate it. The Doctor isn't the grand and shining hero we once knew here, and actually it makes McCoy and this era's character direction pivotal in how the Doctor is presented in the new series, especially with Tennant and the Time Lord Victorious arc. Ace tells a bloody painful and heart-wrenching story about her best friend Manesh, whose flat was firebombed by white kids. The very idea of that is simply disgusting and fear-inducing, and despite being a story released in 1989, it's still a reality today. That, quite simply, is shocking and vile. There's a sense of real-life, very human threats throughout this story, which are even more unsettling than the alien elements, but damn, there's some mega creepy stuff here for the young target audience designed for Who. Ace is approached by the husks, basically very dry insect-looking creatures. Just look at the state of these things. Imagine one of these down the back of the sink. You'd need one seriously big tin of Raid, that's for certain. They're one of only several main threats in Gabriel Chase though. Mrs. Pritchard is reminiscent of the Woman in Black, Josiah Smith's skin peels away as he gradually turns, and we get our big bad of the story, an ethereal being named Light, who whose voice changes from high-pitched and angelic to deep and demonic. There's something deadly lurking in every shadow of Gabriel Chase, and that's what keeps the nightmare fuel wells flowing here. The story is so non-linear and abstract that any further discussion on it would be extremely difficult, but this only adds to the memorability of the experience. The level of confusion you can get from Ghostlight, combined with bagfuls of danger and darkness, threats from both the physical present and the memories of the past, and all encased in a macabre haunted house. This is a unique Doctor Who experience that is difficult to grasp, yet is thoroughly enjoyable and a real treat in the show's history. Ghostlight is many things, and one of them for certain is another dose of Doctor Who nightmare fuel. What other examples of scary Doctor Who would you like me to cover that I haven't already? Let me know down in the comments below, and until then, I've been Connor from Unleash the Ghouls. I'll see you next time, somewhere in time and space.